Welcome, everybody. Happy to have you guys in here for our weekly call. As you guys trickle in here, get your questions in the chat. Happy to have you guys all here today.
Yeah, welcome in, guys. Excited to hash out another week, another 30 minutes here on YouTube and get your guys' questions in. We'll go over all of everything we can for the next 30 minutes and hopefully provide the most value as possible. Any questions, all questions, whether you're a beginner, have no idea what we're doing, to anyone advanced has questions, but excited to hash into it here.
Michael McGran said he's listening from a rooftop
Mexico.
pool in Mexico.
Rooftop pool in Mexico. We're international now. Anyone else international right now? I don't know if Max is in here from Italy, Christina from Italy.
Sure, he will be.
Nice.
We'll give it a minute as people trickle in here. Hey, everybody. Welcome, Thomas, John, K Factor. I think that's someone who joined. Yeah, welcome in, everybody. Get your questions in the chat, and we'll get started here in a minute or two.
For sure. Excited to get into it. Welcome, Thomas. Welcome, John. The K Factor. Michael up in Mexico. Down in Mexico. Johnny Deep. New Jersey, Philly. Nice.
Yeah, let us know where you guys are from. That's always
down in Florida. Just had a consultation with someone down in Tampa area. Nice. Kansas City. What brought everyone here? What are you guys looking for? Are you guys land investors currently? You're looking to make more money and get into it, or just researching? What brought you guys here? Listen to all the podcasts. Nice. Caught Alive. John Schmidt's on it. Love that.
Nice, John.
Arizona, New York, Texas, Atlanta, Naples, Alabama, DC, North Dakota. Guys, Virginia, Maryland, Tampa.
Freedom, I like it.
All right, we got a lot trickling in, guys. Sean. Welcome in. We're going to get started here in a moment. Get your guys' questions in as they come. All questions are great. We have some deals. Ron's going to show you a deal here shortly to go over. Ron, last week we did a deal that was a result. What we bought and sold. It was like a result review.
That was a members deal. I think we bought it for, I forget, I want to say 42,000, sold for 95. I want to say it might have been 105. I really don't remember, Dan, but yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, and that are we doing the same this week, or what do you got? You got a new deal or an old deal?
I'm gonna pull up a new deal here. Just give me a second. I'll get this up.
New deal.
Deer. Is that what I said?
Orlando, Florida. We were all over the place, guys. Excited to hash into it. That's the beautiful thing about land investing. Ron and I have bought in thousands of properties. We've never been to one of them. I'm in Florida. He's in Ohio. We've barely bought in a property in Florida before. We haven't been to one personally. Most of them have been in other states we're not located in, but our system allows for that. That's why we got into it. We were in other online businesses before this, but land's nice because you can really do this from anywhere. I mean, like you said, someone's sitting here in Mexico. We have Christina in Italy. We have Max in Italy. So it's all over. You can be remote doing this, making a lot of money. And we're going to get into some of the details here, but get your guys' questions about land investing, land flipping, any questions you guys have in. I see Tyrone just put one. We got some questions trickling in. We'll get you guys questions here in a minute.
All right, we're gonna go over deal real fast, guys. We are in. Hold on one second. Let me make sure I got the correct information up here. Sorry about that. We're in Lexington County, South Carolina.
Lexington County, South Carolina.
And let me make sure
that's your old stomping ground.
Yeah, I'm from not from South Carolina, but I was in South Carolina for a couple years for sure.
People ask me if you're from there because you got an accent ever since you came back.
Do I?
That's what they say. Does Ron have a Southern accent, guys? Tell us in the chat.
Maybe we both. I was not aware. I guess I picked it up a little bit. It's different down there, though, obviously.
Tyler Barbie. Nice. Barbie. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, Tyler, but oh yeah, they're all saying yes too. Gabe said yes, he has a Southern accent. Cool. There we go. But he said he's from Lexington County. Let's get into this.
Yeah, so we have 27 acres here. It looks like our purchase price is $59,000. This members deal who brought it to us to go over for them. But yeah, let's get it to it, Dan. So access is a little weird on this one. You can see a little bit of access right here. You just got to make sure that this is legal access. Make sure this Things that stick out to me when I'm first looking at this, we have this what appears to be some kind of easement running through the side, which isn't ideal, but it is running through a corner, not running directly through the middle. Then obviously access we want to confirm. I like the land though.
What is that easement? That's a road?
I don't know if this is. It looks like this farm is kind of using that, so they
Wow,
probably
that's a
have some
big
kind of
farm.
legal access. Yeah, it's a huge farm, so it's probably not
Massive.
overly used. I'd imagine it might be like a machine one. I don't know. Maybe
There's
they
some
have
sort of
machines
easement
over
going.
here or something. But yeah, something's obviously going through there. This property's
Nice
got a
land.
lot. You can subdivide this property theoretically, like the end buyer could.
Looks
A
like it was
lot
a
of
tree
things.
farm at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Trees look nice. Let's look into it. So I'm going to look at floodplain, contour lines. So these are 10-foot lines. No problem here. This is relatively flat. This is really flat. Wetlands, water features. Got a little bit of a creek running through this corner, maybe. Confirm that. Get pictures of that. Those are always nice little attributes. Might have to put a little bit of a bridge over here. I don't know. You'll have to see what that looks like in person. But again, we're in for $62,000. Tyler, you said you're from this area. This is I think this is Western. Let me see where this is in Lexington County. This is over by Columbia. So really the land checks out well, Dan, right?
Yeah, land is great. I mean, I have very little concerns. I mean, the access is the only question, but I still think this is very solid land.
We're in Western Lexington County, and we want to try to find some comps in that relative area. We have 27 acres, so let's just look for 20 to 40 acres. That's kind of the ideal range. When you are in counties that are one county removed, or really this is the same county that Columbia is, you don't want to get comps over here. Our property's over here, so we need to do our best to find comps that are near where our property actually is. All right. So I think this is a relatively good area in terms of looking into this like this. We have a decent amount of comps here. Let me check what my acreage is right now. I'm at 20 to 100. I'm going to go 10 to 50 just so I can get some of those 15-acre comps. 11 just sold for 120. Oh, this is actually not just sold. It's kind of a
What's our price?
We're at 62.
And how many acres?
27.
27.
So we have 16 for sale right now for 160. This has 14 saves in 7 days. That's a pretty intriguing comp right there. I'm gonna go 26 for 239 for sale. We look at this saves, days, views, all this stuff quite a bit. This is overpriced. If you see 2 saves in 7 days, that's overpriced. I believe this one's a little bit overpriced, but it's getting a decent amount of interest. 14 for 138, 9 saves, 12 days. I mean, we just have it at such a good price, Dan. That's why I like this deal so much. This is all for sale comps. Let's go back to sold real fast.
Some competition, though. One thing to note, I think you're going to make a lot of money on this deal, but is it going to fly off the shelf? If you got to price appropriately because there's a lot of competition out there, it looks like.
So this one, something's off with this comp. Don't take this comp is not an accurate comp. So you guys can see it says 20 acres for $70,000 as a sold comp. I click into this and it's pulling up 20 acres for sale for 378. And this actually has 19 saves. Yeah,
nice listing.
This is not an accurate comp for this.
That's what you want your listings looking like, though.
Exactly. 25 for 123. Yeah, I mean, I would list this at like 149.9 or something. I think this would buy for 60 and sell for 150, somewhere around 150.
Hopefully a quick sale too in a county like this.
I think so for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You got that horse farm, whatever that is above for what, 300,000? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Marketing can push it when you have pictures and stuff like that. Really, really solid deal. Congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I like that deal a lot. I'm going to go through these questions real fast, guys. Get your questions in there if you guys have deals. The K Factor asked earlier on, is there a huge difference in having a live answering service as opposed to having people leave messages on a voicemail? Yes, I think there's a huge difference. One, you have risk of people not leaving voicemails.
Which they won't.
They won't. No, 50 to 75% won't. So it's just from my experience. I mean, we've done all that stuff, and it's hard to get these people on the line. Like if you don't have someone answering that the first time, like you build that trust, even if it's an answering service, that trust is built straight from the start. If you have an answering service.
Yeah, you want to answer as quick as possible, and if not, call them back as quick as possible. So if you have an answering service, that's the first touch. If not, call them back as quick as possible. the voicemail is not going to work. You want to make it in this business model in general when you're making these decisions and analyzing if we see a difference or not, things like this. You want to think about how can we make their life easier? Because the easier we make it on them, the more deals you're going to get. Essentially, you want to answer the call as quick as possible, go over their objections as quick as possible, get the purchase agreement as quick as possible in whatever the easiest fashion way is for them. As close title as quick as possible and easy as possible. Make it as easy on them. Get a mobile notary for them. All that type of stuff. You want to make it as easy on them as possible. That's our value.
Yeah. Gabe asked if looking at, and I'll click these so you guys can see the questions because these are really good questions. If looking at a property with a seller's agent, does it hurt to get a buyer's agent? Seller is already paying commission. I assume Gabe's a member and I assume he got this deal from direct mail and just happened to find someone who has a property listed. And I know Gabe's attacking very big deals. I don't know. Like I don't really like doing that on the buy side, to be 100% honest. Unless you feel like like you need that assistance. Because then you're taking commission also from the seller's agent, and that de-incentivizes them to kind of make like there's less in it for them. So I think you not using someone makes the seller's agent push for the deal a little more.
Yeah. And then Sean Cook asked, have you seen this business model work in areas with very high price per acre, 5 acres going for $300,000? It definitely can work. You don't want to do that at first if you're newer. But yes, it definitely works. I mean, we were just under contract with a deal for $515,000 that we were going to, it was 2 acres, 515,000 to purchase that we were going to list for 1.2 to 1.3 or something like that. And we've been in those situations. So it just really depends. It does work in those situations. You just got to be very careful, make sure it's the right market, make sure you're getting at the right price, do extra due diligence. It's a riskier model, but yes, it can be done. I wouldn't target that right away though.
Yeah, definitely wait a little bit before you start targeting that. It can be done. You need to be aggressive and you need to know the market. The hard part when you get that expensive is street by street can really change prices. Little things are going to change prices drastically when you get that expensive. Ian asked, do you anticipate more land being available with housing recession looming? I mean, we keep talking about this housing recession and it hasn't come. Like, I think prices have steadied. I don't think prices are going to drop because there's just not enough inventory. There is not enough inventory for prices to drop. So no, I don't think land is necessarily going to be more available. I think land is a very sought after resource right now.
Yeah, but it means like if a recession does come and people are selling, more likely to sell their assets to get capital.
Can we get more deals? Absolutely. Like, yeah, if people are struggling for money and I send them a deal offer or a letter offering them $50,000, I'm going to get more deals like that. I feel confident I can sell them on the back end. But as far as like land coming up on the market, I don't see that increasing.
Yeah, in more opportunities on the investment side to acquire.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry if I read that wrong, Ian. Thought I was Canadian at first. No, I'm not Canadian. Have you ever had someone pretend to be the seller of a lot, but we're not? What is the best way to verify they're actual owner of the property? Deeds. Deeds are always the best way to verify. Get the most recent deed. You call up the county. We might have Bergen County in here who can clarify, but you call up the county and get the most recent deed. If their name's not on it, you want to ask them like, okay, your name's John Smith, or your name's John Smith, and I see a Tyrone Smith or something like that on the deed. Who is that? What's their relation? But if you just have people, you'll get a lot of different situations. You'll get this a lot. Yeah, they want some money, but you want to go through a title search, Dan. If you're going through a title search, that's going to keep you protected.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see Bergen County's in here, or did you say that?
I said if Bergen County's in, I don't know. I said that you can call Bergen County up and do some deed research. What's the software you guys use to find land properties? So what we were just using to review that deal is ID.land, and that's a mapping software. We use a couple different softwares to find deals. Data Tree right now is our main source of data where we get a list of vacant landowners. We're not getting on market deals. We download a list of vacant landowners, send them mail, text them, and try to get deals under contract.
Exactly. And I was going to say something. Someone asked would you say that this business is recession proof? From John Schmidt.
I mean, like if if people are not buying, the thing that makes this business in my mind recession proof is our time that we are holding the properties is so short. So if you're buying, if it's a recession, I'm going to buy cheaper. So if you are buying and I'm going to flip it in 2 weeks and the price is not going to change that much. The problem is if you start holding things for 18 months, then you can get hit hard. But the thing, you need to know the actual current market value when you're buying these properties so you understand your margin. So if you're
It's more
buying
about the
right,
market
yeah, I
now.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, on the contrary, I was talking to a guy who does major subdivisions in North Carolina, and he takes 50 acres and chops it up at 300, 400 acres and for D.R. Horton, the builder, and he sells them all to them, and he's under contract before he goes. But he was talking about, because he's been doing it 20, 30 years, and he was talking about in 2008, he lost everything and filed bankruptcy. It wasn't recession proof at all. They stopped building, which means he's got out of business and had overhead and everything else. So this business is much safer because we are selling most of it. We're putting on the MLS and selling to end buyers, essentially investors and buyers, whoever it is. Like the end buyers look at land like they're tucking their money in an asset. It's 10 acres. They want that recreational land. They want to hunt. They want to put their cabin on it. They also see it as an investment, so it's safe for them. And that's why it's much, much more safe than these infill smaller lots and things like that. But guys, we have over 103 people in here. If you guys, we try to come back every single week, provide the most value as possible to you guys. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, if you're not already subscribed, it keeps us coming back. It keeps us putting all the value we can in these 30 minutes. Ron and I would really appreciate to hit that subscribe. Also at the end, I'm going to give away a free course. Stay for that. I'll give away a free course, tons of value. You guys can learn how to do this. So stay to the end. We'll do that at the end, Ron.
Awesome. Yeah. Is it better to have a partner like you two when starting? So if you're talking about like getting funding for a deal, it's your preference. Like if you want to figure it out yourself, the first couple of deals, like do it. If you want to partner up, like I don't think there is a right way to do it. You're going to learn by some mistakes probably if you don't partner with more experienced people at first. But at the same time, like there's plenty of people who their first deal is $100,000. They get it reviewed by someone like us. We say it's good, and then they go buy it themselves and take it on.
Yeah. And Kelly had a good question. She said, I only hear cold calling, mail, or text for marketing. Is email an option to add for marketing? Is an option for, another acquisition channel?
We haven't tested enough, honestly. You said Kelly.
Yeah.
We haven't tested enough, Kelly, to really, it's definitely an opportunity. Like anytime you can reach out to someone and contact someone, they're a potential lead. Like if you have a list of 10,000 people and they own land, like they're a potential lead. Any way you can contact them is a way to market to them. But finding the most efficient way is what we try to do. And that's what we've seen, a combination of not cold calling, blind offers, which is mail, and texting.
Absolutely.
Do you prefer, and tell us, guys, let me know what you think. If you guys want me to, Chris from Cincy, Chris, good to see you again. If you guys want me to go over another deal, I can go over another deal. I can take this call. We have still 10 more minutes. We can take this call the direction you guys want. Just let me know if you
deal
if you
or
guys
questions.
What'd you say? Yeah, say deal or more questions. I can keep going over these questions while we have it. Corey said, I'm an agent, would definitely use a buyer's agent. That's towards you, Gabe, is that response. It matters what type. Like if you have a seller's agent that is more lenient towards deal.
I love that. We just got to start. Talking. Yeah. Let's get into it. Another deal.
Let me get one real fast. Give me a second, Dan. But yeah, if you want to answer another question two.
While Ron's pulling that up, I'll answer the questions. I love how you guys want to get into a deal. Let's just keep reviewing deals.
We have a bunch of members who send us deals who are willing to let us use them in this. So yeah, that's always a good thing. I always have them packed away for you guys.
So Bo asked, what's the best way to find, these are recorded and on, for Mitch, these are recorded. Yes. What's the best way to go about finding deal funders? We have a community of people. We have a free Discord community as well, but we have a community of people who fund deals. Ron and I fund it. If you go to landinvestingonline.com, there's a section for deal funding. It's just networking in the community. Finding deal funding is easy if you're a hard worker and actually putting in the effort and, being responsive and finding them and networking in the community. This is a community, guys, and meeting people and networking and asking questions and showing up, you'll get all the answers that you need. And there's tons and tons of deal funders out there. So there's no shortage of cash in the land investing community. It's extremely lucrative. People are making money and they want to put their money to work for sure. All right. So someone else asked about wholesaling. They said, do we ever wholesale? which if you guys are new to this channel, we're typically buying and selling the land ourselves. So we're buying land, putting it up on the market and selling it. We will wholesale occasionally when the time fits, when they need too much money. Say it's going to sell for $100,000. And we have it under, we sent them an offer, a blind offer. We offered, say, $50,000. They want something like 70 and they just won't come down from it. First, I try to negotiate. I'll try to get it in the 50s to where it makes sense, where I can still get deal funding. So I don't need to use my own money, right? You want it to make sense for you, the deal funder, and the seller. After that, if that doesn't work and they won't negotiate down, and you can't get it somewhere where it makes sense, then we sometimes look at wholesaling and double closing. Double closing, especially, which is just a form of wholesaling, we do and we teach as well. It can work very well, but you don't want to jump to that right away because you won't make as much money. So step one, you offered them the number, try to get at that number. Step two, negotiate to a number where that makes sense for you and your deal funder, maybe 57,000 in that situation, 58, 60, whatever the situation is. Step number three, if they're not coming down, they're not coming off that 70, then go to that, because you don't want to jump from 50 to 70 and lose out on that 20,000 of equity when most of the time you can meet somewhere in the middle and make it work.
Yep. All right, cool. We are in Callaway County, Missouri. Let me see the price on this one. Let me double check. Looks like it's $50,000 purchase price. And like I said, this is another bigger one too, Dan. I like doing this. Anyone from Missouri? I saw a Kansas City actually earlier, right? Okay. We have 30 acres. So let's look at the land real fast. I think this is going to have a little bit of slope. So actually, let's back out of that real fast, and I'll go through this one a little slower. First thing, guys, when you see these things, these are utility easements. These are going to be telephone poles, electric poles, whatever you want to call them, running through your land. You can see a pole right there. Maybe you can't. I can see. There's a pole right here. There's a pole right here, I think. And then you're obviously going to have them up here as well. Hunters like these because they clear. We have 40 acres in northern Kentucky, and it's a nice way to kind of see. Two of them, I think, makes it a little less desirable. I think this is a defect for sure. If it was just this one, I don't think it's a defect. Having two of them, Dan, I think is definitely going to be a defect.
I agree.
A little more slope on this one than the last one. These are 20-foot lines. So I'm going to actually hit the 3D for you guys so you guys can see. Land ID has a really cool feature where it basically takes the contour lines and will make it 3D based on the slope. Land ID is not 100% accurate, but you guys can see here, if I move, usually it lets me move. You guys can see here the basic slope. I don't know why it's not letting me move how I usually do.
Control.
Oh, is it control? There you go. Thank you. So you guys can see like the base slope. It's sloping down. You're going to have some buildable areas up top for sure. This is a big piece of land. It's not overly sloped. Actually, I like this land. I think it's going to be definitely a hunter, Dan, that's going to be buying this, right? Who can also put a cabin,
you can have a cabin. That's a big piece of, how much is it?
30 acres. You can have someone subdivide it too. Like there's definitely subdivide options on this for sure.
Really good subdivide play. I mean, you got thousands of feet of road frontage.
Ton of road frontage. It's just the utilities and the slope could make it a little more difficult.
There's plenty. That's a lot of land though.
Yeah. No floodplain, no wetlands, no water features. Everything's good. This is straightforward land. Let's see where we are in this county real fast, and let's get the price. Like I said, they're under contract for $50,000 to buy. So we have Callaway County, and we are in the complete southeast. And the thing about Missouri, guys, and there's a couple other states like this. Missouri, I'll forget all of them. Missouri, Texas is one. There's more. They're non-disclosure states where you can see here when I go on Zillow and I go in different areas, you cannot see the actual sold price. Let's see what's for sale real fast. And I think we're going to be more expensive down here. So again, you want to be careful getting comps where the more expensive stuff is, because we're right here. We don't want to get comps here. This is completely different. This is probably 45 minutes away. So let's try to get comps around here. Nothing for sale. That's typically good news. We don't have competition. That's how we look at it when nothing's for sale. We don't have competition. We're only under contract, or not us, but the members only under contract for 50,000. Here we have 42 acres. 42 acres. Again, we don't have a sold price. That's what I mean by non-disclosure. The sold prices are not recorded. 42 acres, 429. This sold in 4 days. I mean, that is a really good comp, Dan.
Anytime you see something, that's what we like to dive in. You look at the sold, you look at what it was listed for, how long did it take to go pending, and that's, I mean, you can get a lot of information from doing that.
120. This took 7 days, and this was 2.5 years ago. What year is it? This is 2 years ago.
That's far.
This is
That's
2
old.
years ago, but it's still $120,000. It's sold in 7 days. Like, I think that's right after COVID. Like,
play too with this, there's just such when you have this much road frontage, straightforward land, not too sloped, it's just you can chop this up on the road very, very easily. You're talking $4,000, and you can make this 5 to 8 parcels. And
my gut's telling me that, Dan, like mid hundreds. Like, I think this is a buy for 50, sell for like 135.
As is.
I wonder what your
without a
response
subdivide.
is. Yeah, 100%. I wonder what your response is going to be with the utilities. That's going to be a good initial thing for you. Like, if you have 10 people visit the first week and all 10 are like, yeah, that utility easement's just like, I can't
Might
do
be
much.
even more reason to subdivide, honestly.
100%. Why are you going from Land ID to Zillow? Land ID is how I'm looking at the features of the land. Zillow is where I'm looking at the price. So I'm looking not the price of that land, but I'm looking at comps. So I'm trying to figure out, this member is under contract for $50,000. Does that deal make sense? For us, we like to buy properties at $45,000 to $50,000, or I'm sorry, at 45 to 50% of market value. And that obviously fits that. What program is that?
Land ID.
My partner Mike and I are starting off using the wholesale strategy, but okay, cool. I'm trying to go through, Dan, see if there's any last deal or questions in here. We have a couple more minutes, guys.
Taylor Made asked, do you prefer on or off market? So the first step we always do in this business model, we select a county. Second step is we go and pull the data records from the county. We do that on Data Tree, or you can do it on PropStream or whatever you guys use. But that is how we get the records. We'll just pull all vacant landowners and target, and it's 99.9% off market. So we don't buy anything on market. We have never bought anything on market. I don't think. We have one time that just expired on market and didn't sell, and then we bought it. But in general, it's all off market, to answer your question.
What's the best way to go about it? I'm just making sure we got through all your guys' questions. Wholesaling question. What's the best way to get funders? Is the best. Go ahead, Dan.
We went through that. But yeah, let's get to that free course, because I want you guys to get as much value from this as possible. Ron and I have a free course we launched together, landinvestingonline.com. I'm putting the link in here. It goes over how to do this. We screen share. We show you how to select
the description as well.
It's going to be in the description. Yeah. Let me make sure I got this right link. But yeah, we show you guys how to acquire land pretty much under market value, how we're doing it, how we're pulling off market, all that stuff, how we target these properties, the due diligence we go through, listing it, all of that we go through in the free course.
Free course is in the description. Free land flipping course, you guys can see it if you guys look at it in the description and make sure it's working properly. Yeah, so that's right in the description, Dan.
That is the wrong link. I'm going to put a new link in there. Don't ignore that link. Sorry about that, guys.
Nice. Other than that, while Dan was getting that, if you guys have any last questions before we get off, we do have a members only call at 6 p.m. Eastern time. How much is the software you're using? This is, it changed in the last few months. There's different plans for all access in the entire country. It's close to 100. I'm not 100% sure though.
I think it's like 70 or something.
100 a month. I'm sorry, 70 a month, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it might be 79 or something.
But you can get different plans. Their plans start at like 20 to 30, and we have the nationwide one. But I put the new link in there for the free course to learn how to do this. landinvestingonline.com/free-course-sign up. It's in the description. Click that, get your information in there, and then it'll shoot you to a page where you can start watching and learn how to do this yourselves.
Nice. Other than that, guys, thank you a lot for joining. We'll end it there, Dan. A lot of good questions, some really good deals that we brought in here. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys next week. We do have a free or a call in Discord on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern as well. See you guys then.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time. Bring your questions. Excited to get back into it. Thanks for joining.